Second.
Great day today. We had 11 zones that we wanted to cover. The smallest one was about a half a mile. The largest one, and that team is still out, was about an 8-mile round trip for them. So all of those zones within the drainage were covered that we wanted to cover. So I'm really pleased with that. People came back with really interesting stories about what they had seen and the level of activity they had seen from beaver dams in the drainage. But what I thought was remarkable to me was that stuff that I didn't think people were picking up from the training on the 28th were actually relaying that information back to me. So it kind of made me validated the fact that they had picked up a lot of good information about beaver habitat and
we saw like there were 2 or 3 inactive beaver dams. There was a big like feeding spot where there was like lots of trunks cut off, and there was one place where there was a tree with a hole in it. It was like a burrow in there, and then there was like some, what do we call it, like caves inside of the, like under the bank of the river.
We found a few mudslides that beavers like come up and down into the creek. I found one on my own. We found 3 others, I think. We found like where beavers had eaten bark. I brought back a stick that a beaver had ate bark with, off the bark off, and brought back wood chips from it breaking trees.
We saw quite a few beaver dams, like 20 something, maybe close to 30, and about 4 or 5 lodges. Yeah. Some of them were active, some of them were inactive, but most of it was inactive. I learned that there's a lot of beavers out here. I didn't realize how active they were in this area, and it was pretty impressive to see all this activity.
Encountered a neighborhood of 40 different dams. We only saw about 2 active huts, and there were probably nine or so of those were active dams. So there was an awful lot of them that were inactive. But, lower down, they were more open. As we got further up the creek, higher up in elevation, more that was froze over, and then got to a point where eventually there was just no more beaver sign. Quite a variety of stuff, fresh brush and work where they'd been doing actual work around the dams.
We saw some old inactive dams, and then we saw an area that was pretty impressive. Looks like the beaver are having a lot of fun in there. We saw some pretty trees about that big that they've totally cut down and stripped all the bark off of. We looked for a lodge, and we think we maybe saw a lodge, but we're not sure because the brush is really pretty thick in there. But yeah, in the area right at the end of the trail where the loop is, there's a lot of beaver activity, and you can see it right from the trail, so that's pretty nice. It's pretty exciting to me that the beaver are here and that they're so close to areas where a lot of people travel. I mean, that's a pretty well-used trail because it's nice and it's paved, and so I think it's pretty exciting. It's a good way for people to witness, the activity and what a huge impact beaver can have on the ecosystem.